Hi, welcome to View Programmatic's Perspective. I'm Sophie Taylor, Regional Partnerships Director for the UK, and today I'm here with my guest.
Jamie Ball, Managing Director in the UK for Elevision.
Lovely. Now, start you off with an easy one. What's your favourite national dish?
This has caused me a lot of issues. I'm going for shepherd's pie.
Right. That's a good.
I had three other ones, but I thought I'll stick with that one.
And it's the right time of year for it as well.
It's absolutely coming into the right time of year. Absolutely.
As a media owner that launched with you earlier this year, what makes you most excited about the programmatic opportunity for your inventory?
For me, I feel as if Elevision was made for programmatic. We are a frequency-based medium, but we've got full geo-targeting capabilities, day parting capabilities. That is a natural part of what we deliver. And our reach in the UAE in particular is fantastic and literally growing day by day in the UK. But added to that is a data set, the first party data set that we have access to, that gives us everything we need to know from a qual and a quant point of view about our audiences, which is really important for programmatic. But it also gives us some real nuggets of information that we dig out. As we're a lift-based media. Our screens sit in the lifts of the residential developments we're in. So we know, for example, that each resident on average takes 5 lift journeys a day, and each of those journeys is 51 seconds long.
It's a lot of dwell time.
It's a lot of dwell time, but it's for us, it's crucial bits, like I say, nuggets of information that make us stand out from the crowd, especially as a new media owner in the UK.
Yeah, and speaking of the UK, your inventory sits all across the UK. Which locations have been most popular recently?
There's been nothing that has stood out, no particular location. We've had a broad range of programmatic activity across all our locations. It's come down to what has been the specific targeting parameters for each campaign that's run. Good example is the recent one we ran with Marks and Spencer's, proximity based, but also not just being close to their stores, but also picking people up in the right time of day. We talk about moments that matter, and it's moments that matter when they're in proximity. They can make that decision. What am I have for lunch? What's for tea? Whatever it might be.
Yeah, exactly. So what specific programmatic benefits or features are you most excited about trying out, and what do you think is going to land well for your audiences?
At the moment, across both territories, UAE and UK, it's definitely programmatic guaranteed. We've seen lots of inquiries, lots of interest, lots of requests to have programmatic guaranteed as part of our base setup, if you like. We're now live with you guys, which is great. And I think what it does is, on top of, we obviously as standard part, we guarantee the location, the time, etc. But it just takes away any risk about people being worried, am I going to get the full delivery, impression delivery that we've planned in? And I think the programmatic guarantee, obviously that takes it away. But for new advertisers, new agencies to programmatic, and it removes that risk, that fear that they might have. And I'm hopeful that it will start to bring more and more brands to programmatic.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you think the UK does particularly well when it comes to programmatic digital out-of-home?
I think the first part is that operating in an advanced market like the UK makes a big difference. Programmatic digital out-of-home was adopted, I think, quite early, but the pace of that adoption has been what's really interesting and been really impressive. I think everybody, both media owner, agency, SSP, DSP, pick all the different sides. Everybody has joined together, got on board, understand the benefits, and therefore the pace has, the pace has increased massively. So that's really impressive for us as Elevision. It's programmatic when it was in its very early stages. From the UAE point of view, it was something that we got on board with really early. We felt that it was a really important part of our mix. On top of your face-to-face salespeople, it's an added layer that gets us, we become more prevalent. People can see us, see our inventory, see the range of it, And when we launched in the UK, it was absolutely a fundamental part of the strategy. You know, we were never going to launch and say, we'll come to programmatic a little bit later. No, we were launching, and programmatic was, was central to that launch strategy.
Okay, good to know. And lastly, can you give us a sneak peek into any new screens or locations coming up for Elevision?
I can.
Yeah.
The last 15 months or so, the pace of our network growth has gone off the scale. It's been great. It's sort of really quite hard to keep up with. So we're now live in over 230. We've got 230 screens that are now live. That's across 110 buildings, and our monthly impression delivery has just topped 20 million. So for a relatively new player in the market, we're really pleased with that. What I'm even more pleased about is that the pipeline of installations that we've got for the rest of this year and into early next year. We've got another 180 screens that are signed and being installed at the moment. That's across another 120 buildings, and that will take our monthly impression delivery well north of 30 million. In for us, what is a relatively short space of time. And so we're installing a screen from next Monday every working day for the rest of this year, and probably into early next year.
So it's a really exciting future for Elevision.
It's really exciting. As I said, it's always tricky when you start this process, and getting the early adoption, especially on the network side, takes a little bit of time. But once you get that early growth and that early interest, the growth is exponential, and that's what we're seeing at the moment. I think it's really important to understand that it's not just the advertiser side, which is, in the context of this conversation, hugely important, but also from a residential communication point of view. The development managers that we work with have access screen. They use it on a daily basis, or them rather on a daily basis, to talk to their residents. The more they do that, the more we have an attentive and engaged audience. That in turn, from an advertiser perspective, makes what we deliver really key.
Exactly. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me.